I've got all my friends with me here today. A lady called me one day and said she had a bunch of bamboo that she was giving away. And I went over there and it was still standing. It was all 40 feet tall. I told her I would take it if she delivered it. And she did. She had her gardener bring it. And I've been taking little bits and pieces out of it here and there, but it was all green when I got it and it was really nice shape. I think it's still usable for a lot of things. And if any of you guys online want some bamboo, giant bamboo for any project at all, you're welcome to call me and come and pick through the stack. I have some short ones that I've already cut, but these are almost all, about 50% of these are 30 feet long. And you can use them for all kinds of things. I like to make fences out of them. They look really good as fences, and barriers if you don't want somebody to see your trash can. I've kind of used up as much as, this pile was twice as big. I've kind of used up and disposed of all I wanted to, and I still have more than I need. It exploded the other day, didn't it? That's a piece of red, salmon-colored eucalyptus. I only work in basically black walnut. And when somebody said they had black walnut, I was interested. And he also had access to big leaf maple, California big leaf, western big leaf maple. And I've worked with that before and I really like it, so I had him throw a couple of those logs in, but most of the time it's just black walnut. It's kind of one of those things where if you have X, somebody wants Y. Why don't you have Y also? And so you can't just have dark wood. You have to have a source of light wood too, and it's either oak or maple for me because, well, or sycamore. Sycamore is kind of like an orange colored wood. It's not quite as fun as maple. This area here has been here for 20 years. This is some of the earliest stuff I cut. There's a oak there and a deodorus spruce and a sugar pine and part of a sycamore and a redwood. This represents what not to cut.
Why is that?
Well, you never get your money back out of it. The deodorus spruce is okay. It makes a great picnic table. And if somebody wants a picnic table, I'll make you one really cheap with some deodorus spruce. So there's that. And those are 12 feet long. So put two together, I'll make you a hell of a deal. If you like the videos, please subscribe. It helps me do more videos and bring more content to more users. Thank you. This whole end down here is punky. It's really, you can stick your fingernail into it. I don't know why that's the case. It just mystifies me. This is the dirt end though. So maybe this tree was in the ground for a long time before they took it down. But the other half, this half down here, is really good. If somebody wants something with some contrast, I use it as the white wood. And this stack right here, I spent $20,000 for, and it was cut in 21. So it's ready to go. This stack here was cut this year. You see it's already lost part of its color, and it won't be ready till 27. It's losing its color because it's getting oxidized. These are some little cutoff pieces that I use as weights to keep the stacks flat. And you see I used stickers sticking in between there. I don't care if they're right above each other. It doesn't matter when the logs are, when the slabs are that thick. These will be architectural pieces on their own. They're odd, heavy, plus ones is what I call them, because they've got something more than the average piece, you know.
What do you think like is the return on that? Or what do you...
10 to 1, yeah, in furniture. But that doesn't count the actual labor or materials for glue and staples and stuff. It doesn't really account all that in there, but it's kind of a ballpark figure. These gnats are tickling my head. It's kind of a ballpark figure, and this represents another $17,000, all that. It's really hard to tie up that money and not see it for maybe 15 years. You know, sure the wood is dry, But until that customer materializes, you can't really put money into it to develop it. You just have to let it sit here and age. My slabs generally sell about the same as a finished table. So once you tell somebody that, they want the table. They don't want the slab anymore. So I very rarely sell slabs. If it's the ideology is to do it yourself, even a good do-it-yourselfer will say, I get somebody to do that for me for the same price. I'm not doing it myself. You know, so I have all the right machines and the know-how and time for now. You get older, you have less and less of that time. This is some material here that I'm planning on giving away. This is all badly warped, but it's black walnut, and it's got a lot of sapwood, and it's all about an inch and a quarter thick. So it's warped because they didn't sticker it very well, and it was too thin. So a combination of not stickering it well and cutting it too thin caused it all to change. I bought it when it was green. It looked nice when I bought it, but it didn't dawn on me to re-sticker it. I just left it with its original stickers and it went to crap. It just disappeared. I spent $7,000 for 3 pallets of this. I've used up a pallet and a half of it. It's good for making small stuff. I'm underwater about 5,000 on that. So I generally don't buy sawn material that somebody else has sawn. I just thought I needed some stuff that was thinner so I didn't have to keep breaking down thick slabs to get thin stuff, because you kind of waste half the slab to get thin stuff. So I cut everything at 3.5, and in order to get an 1.5 inch board, you're going to waste 2 inches of that, because first you got to level it, and then now you're not 3 anymore, you're 2 3/4 or something, and by the time you do that, you split it and then surface both of those sides again. You've wasted 1 edge. So it's kind of okay to have some material that's already sawn in a thinner thickness, as long as it's stickered right and then preserved appropriately. This has all been fumigated, by the way, so if anybody wants some of that, I'm sure some people will want it. That'll be some of the stuff I'll be giving away. Well, I spray it with boron salts. It's called Boracare, and you get it online. It's a white powder, and you mix it in water, and it seems like you're pouring way too much of it into the water. It kind of reminds you of baking soda, but it just dissolves the minute it hits the water, kind of like cotton candy and water. Get 'em, girl. I really like this piece. This piece is a +1 for sure. When I say a +1, that means it has design potential, but this is a focal point, and this is a support piece. These pieces that are up on the rack are Buckeye burl. This is Buckeye burl, and it's just ugly because it's oxidized. But if you can sand through the oxidation, you can see that it's really highly figured if you can see through the oxidation. I'm thinking of making another project with Buckeye, so you might be seeing that soon. It's a softwood. It grows in the Sierra Nevadas. It doesn't really grow well in the valley here, so I would say about 1,000 feet to maybe 6,000 feet. Yeah, you can use anything for a table, but you just have to put enough resin on it to just cover all that up. You wouldn't want to stick your fingernail into it every time you set a plate down. It makes a circle. You wouldn't want that. This is pretty soft. I have some red uke here too. Look at that. Look how quilted that is. Yeah, it's really quilted. I've been saving these for just the right trim project. These are from that piece that I set away to make veneer out of. And that goes with that veneer. I want to do a red piece and a spalted maple piece, but I wish I had more storage. Maybe I'll have to get another Mervyn and put it right here,